is very creepy. Known for my creepiness. I wish that wasn't true, but it is. Okay, so I'm here today to talk to you guys about how to hire a buyer's agent. So a lot of people don't know that when you hire an agent to purchase a home, there are very minimal fees involved. In the state of Florida, the seller is actually paying for the buyer's agent commission, and a lot of people don't know that. But that's not to say that you don't have your own fees. So a lot of agencies charge what's called so I'm actually going to go over, let me back up, I'm going to go over some questions you should, when you sit down to interview an agent, questions you should ask. Whether it's me, I'm going to tell you my answers. I'm pretty direct and straightforward. I'm going to tell you exactly what I would tell anyone. But these are questions that you should ask any kind of agent that you're hiring and gauge how they answer based on if you think you're going to be a good fit or not. First and foremost, you want to hire an agent that you don't want to gouge your eyes out every single time you see their name pop up on your phone. You're going to be spending a lot of time with them. You have to trust them. You have to think that they're semi-intelligent, know what they're talking about. And someone that when you're on the phone with them, you're just like, I cannot wait for this conversation to be over. This is an awful human being. I don't know why I'm working with him. That's not what you want. So hire someone you respect first and foremost. I just spit. You couldn't see it, but I did. Okay. So back to the cost aspect. So yes, the commission is covered by the seller in 99.9% of the cases, unless it's a FSBO, which is a for sale by owner. Those can get a little wonky. But there is going to be what's called like an admin fee or a brokerage fee or something like that, and most actually don't really know of any agency that doesn't charge that. So that fee charged to buyers at closing is rolled into your closing costs. In Tampa, I've seen it anywhere as little as $100. That's mine, by the way. Up to $695, which is a lot. So for Bay Brokerage, I implemented $100. It basically, this admin and brokerage fee covers, because in the state of Florida, you have to hold all the paperwork for 5 years. It basically just covers some of the costs for software in order to do that. So that's the admin fee. So ask about that fee. So at closing, when you're looking at your ALTA, which is your final statement with all of your closing costs and everything on it, you're just like, why am I paying you? Like, why wasn't this disclosed? And make sure that you read everything you're signing, because it should always be disclosed. I always disclose it, but I don't know if everyone does. I'm not responsible for them. So ask about cost for hiring. The next thing to ask for, I made a list so my ADHD wasn't going to go everywhere. How long they've had in the industry. And I'm not saying like anyone with like less than 2 years experience is like not okay or anything like that. It really is just a matter of, okay, if you ask that question, someone's like, well, I did it part-time for 3 years and this is year 4. You know, not necessarily the kind of agent you really want to hire. A good follow-up question to that was, what was your volume production last year? If you're interviewing the agent for purchase, which most of these questions have to do with, I'm going to do a separate video for sellers. Ask them, how much did you close last year? How many transactions? And out of those, say mine was 40, they say 30 of those were, or say 40, that was their answer. Say, how many of those were buyers? You know, because the buying side and the selling side, even though they work together, how you deal with both is very different. So you want someone who knows what they're doing, can guide you through the process, so that when you sit there and ask, hey, what's next? They're not gonna be like, let me get back to you. Like the finger guns. I don't know why I'm so weird. The next thing you want to ask too is, what is your schedule like and are you flexible? So an agent who only works till like 5:30 p.m. In this aggressive market might not be the agent for you. I can't tell you how many showings I've done at like 9:30 and get home at 10 p.m. Because the house just hit the market and there are multiple offers and they're calling for best and highest by noon the next day. So you want an agent who has some flexibility to their schedule and some drive and aggression that's going to make sure that if there's a multiple offer situation or a situation in which you have to act quickly on a home, that they're there for you and they're going to provide access. Say they are an agent where they have, like me, a baby coming up. Maybe when I post this video, he'll be here. Who knows? You want to ask, okay, if you're out of pocket, like you can't show the homes, do you have a team in place who can? Do you have backup? Do you have a plan? And for me, yes, I have a hired salaried showing assistant Jess. She's wonderful. Shout out to Jessica. So whenever I can't be there, they can. They're my extra set of ears and eyes and boots on the ground. So you want to make sure that if that person has some kind of life event or just like an inflexible schedule because they have kids or a life themselves, that they have some kind of something in place to make sure that you're serviced correctly. The final thing, and if you Google like questions to ask a realtor, I can't tell you how many sit downs I've had where they come with like 15 questions. A lot of them don't really necessarily apply. I'll answer any and all questions that you have for you, but I can't even think of some of the weird wonky ones. I'm not going to say them, but these are kind of the most pertinent ones that if I were hiring an agent that I would ask. The last one, this is something that I've been seeing especially now. Everyone thinks that they can be a realtor and that this job is very easy. And a lot of people just don't do the footwork or the work. I'm not throwing anyone in particular into the bus, like, at all. But ask your agent, like, hey, do you attend inspections? Do you attend appraisals? Will you be there at closing? I can't tell you how many times I've been at closings and both parties been closing together and the other agent's not even there. And I think that it just kind of speaks to how much they actually care about the humans behind the transaction versus just the money in the transaction, like the numbers itself. So and also, you want to make sure that you have a representative at inspections because the inspector's going to sit there and go through at the end a run through of everything that he or she found. And you're not going to understand any of it. He's going to say, okay, there's copper piping. You're going to be like, what does that mean? Like, you're not going to know what questions to ask. You know, like if you had a plumbing inspection with a camera and he said, okay, it's copper piping mixed with PVC. You're not going to know where to ask. You're not going to know to ask, hey, where's the copper in? Where's the PVC start? What's the joint look like? Are you seeing any signs of pinhole leaks? Because I know that copper gets pinhole leaks from the inside. Stuff like that. Also, fun fact I recently learned about galvanized plumbing is that in the 50s, they encouraged housewives and homeowners to clean their pipes with acid. Did you know that? I just learned that. So a lot of galvanized plumbing is corroding from the inside because it's been cleaned with acid for so long. Fun fact. I'm going to keep the finger guns going for this video and I'm going to throw them away after. So yeah, so make sure that you're going to have a representative there to ask all the questions and help you with all, anything that you need. Because also I can't tell you that how many times I've been at closing where title agents do their best. They speak the lingo though every single day. And so especially the first time home buyers and things of that sort, while she's going through and talking to you about homestead and she's talking to you about PMI and things like that, you're not going to necessarily know like when to, all these words are going to be foreign to you. And she's talking about an ALTA and a CD, closing disclosure and everything and the financials. You want a representative there that's going to know what questions to ask and follow-up questions do need to be asked, but also to sit there and give it to you in layman's terms like, hey, this is how you apply for homestead. This is when it's due. I'm going to send you a reminder. So it's just one less thing that they have to worry about because closing day is extremely overwhelming. I'm not going to lie. Even for me, when we bought our house, it was a lot, It was a lot. My mom had to take over the transaction because I got too emotionally involved. Anyone who knows me is probably not surprised by that. What hot fury. I also, my hands are swelling from being pregnant, and, I feel like I have, paws, bear paws. Maybe that's why I'm doing finger guns versus, I don't know. Okay, so those are, the main ones I think I would ask. The rest of the questions that are recommended that you ask are, what was your dollar volume? And, what is your process? And, how do you communicate? And, all the answers to that is, how do you communicate? Just whatever mode of communication you prefer. I have some people who want everything in writing and they're super organized in their email and Drive and things of that sort, and they want everything emailed. And I have some who live by texting or who live by phone calls, or a mixture of all the above. So just find the agent who just really meshes with your style and has similar goals in mind for you as well. Like I said, someone that you don't absolutely hate every single time they call. So yeah, so let me know if you have any questions about any other, even if you don't hire me, that's fine. I'm not a used car salesman type of agent or anything of that sort. I am here truly just to help you every step of the way, even if you need recommendations for plumbers, electricians, stuff like that. I try to advertise myself as the one-stop shop for anything and everything home related. So even if you didn't use me or if you don't plan on using me, you know, I encourage you to take advantage of my contacts and things of that sort. I'm a huge fan of giving back. I think that you reap what you sow. So the more that I can help, hopefully the more good juju comes my way also. Juju. I don't know. That's weird too. All right, I'm gonna go before things get worse. All right, thanks for watching, everyone.